Thursday. How's everyone doing? How have you been? Have you guys watched anything interesting? I'm still kind of behind. But what is up, Carol, Matthew? I am going to talk about the X-Files Lego set. So give me a second. Julissa, Tammy, Julianne. What is up? How's everyone doing? Like I said, I've been behind on my movies. I did notice that Sinners was on Max. So I'm probably going to check that out this weekend. Trying to check to make sure it's still on there because I saw a big old thing for it. And I know tomorrow, if you guys have Peacock, The Woman in the Yard is going to be streaming. So for you, oh, it's not out yet. It's coming soon. Well, it's coming soon. I thought it was out because I saw a big banner the last time I was watching it. It doesn't say you. Hold on. Because when I clicked on Max the other day, it was like Sinners. And I was like, oh, it's out? It's coming soon. Let's see. And if you guys aren't familiar with Sinners, it's like a vampire movie, but like set in the 30s, July 4th. So we have to wait till not this week, but next week. Next Friday. It'll be out on Max. So I was completely off. Megan 2.0 is probably in theaters now because usually, I mean, it's released tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure they have some release dates for tonight in theaters. I was not a fan of Megan. I liked the doll, but it was something I've already seen before. I mean, it just reminded me of Chucky too much, and nothing could replace Chucky. What's up, Tyrana? And what's up, Gunner Girl? But speaking of the X-Files Legos, I'm not a Lego collector, but I'm sorry, I may have to buy this. Matthew kind of pointed it out in our Discord. And also mentioned it in the chat as well earlier. But the X-Files is getting its own official Lego set. I'm sorry, it's cool. I may have to get it. Winner Wet Wired and the Lego Ideas team will now get to work bringing the iconic sci-fi series to life in toy form. Like, how freaking cool is that? Even if I just get the Alien and Mulder and Scully, I'd be happy. With contestants including Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Jumanji, and Edward Scissorhands set, Legos Build Your Nostalgia 90s Throwback Challenge was a feast of great ideas, but the winner has been announced with an official The X-Files set soon to come our way. Designed by Lego Ideas user Wetwire, The X-Files The Truth Is Out There set pays homage to the classic sci-fi series, coming complete with a gray alien and its spaceship, mini replicas of Fox Mulder's FBI office. Oh my god, that would be so full. I'm a huge fan of the X-Files. I'd be happy with Fox Mulder's office. That'd be cool too. With the I Want to Believe poster, a mini Dana Scully, assistant director Walter Skinner, syndicate leader, and Eugene Toombs, plus a teeny tiny Jersey Devil to lurk among the Lego trees. Lego Ideas and Wetwire will now work together to develop the set of approximately 2,020 pieces, a proposed design of which you could see below. The final product may differ slightly. Usually it does, because sometimes they come out with an idea and they can't completely bring it to fruition. The Lego Ideas team explained their reasonings for choosing to make Wetwire's The X-Files a reality. The X-Files first burst onto our TV screens in 1993 before running for 11 season and ultimately becoming a worldwide phenomenon. Now we're excited to see it return in Lego form. Wetwire says their creation is filled with references to the series and that the build offers the chance to piece together the global conspiracy brick by brick. And too bad they don't have the cigarette smoking man. Come on. Keep an eye out for more development news on Wetwire's The X-Files Lego set. Oh my God, I cannot wait. And also Ryan Coogler's, he is going to reboot the series. I did speak about this. He is the director of Sinners. He wants to make it a horror type of X-Files. I mean, I'm open to it. It's just you cannot replace Mulder and Scully, and if they do it, it has to be different FBI agents, in my opinion, like carrying on the legacy. If they do that. Like, well, I mean, obviously that he plans on doing it, so it's not if, but the idea that I would be cool with, because I don't know what direction he's going, would be a different set of FBI agents carrying on the legacy. You know what I mean? Not you cannot replace Mulder and Scully. You cannot. But here are the Lego sets. Here's the office. Oh, wait a minute. I think they do have him. They might have the cigarette smoking man. They've got tunes in the wall. Oh my God, that is so cool. I'd be happy with just the office. With the I Want to Believe poster. The pencil, see, there is the pencils on the ceiling. I was going to say, if it's Mulder's office, there has to be pencils on the ceiling. But that is super cool. I am looking forward to that. That's probably something I'm going to probably put money on. That looks super cool. It even looks like I said, they did put a pencil in the ceiling because Mulder would throw pencils up. The office, yeah, I like that. Julius, the office is so cool. I like the office part. So hopefully it comes. It's not like a whole set, but it looks like it might be a whole set. But even so, it's still cool. Regardless. Heather, whatever. What is up? How's it going? Matthew goes, I now want an X-File Lego video game. Oh my God, I love the Lego video games. I always have a blast playing them. It doesn't matter which one it is. I have a blast. And to have an X-Files one, that'd be so cool. It would. I would buy. Oh my God. It would be so cool. Also, if you guys are a fan of Dead by Daylight, I suck at this game. It's kind of a cool game. They did bring in some horror icons into this game. It's kind of like, if you guys are familiar with the Friday the 13th game before it got shut down, it's kind of similar to that. Where you have a killer coming after you. And they've had the pig from I don't know how you explain it, from Saw, and the Billy would come out. They had Michael Myers. I think they had Freddy Krueger. They had Pinhead at one point. Now they've added Freddy Springtrap from Five Nights at Freddy's. I did see the trailer for it, and I was like, oh, is there a new Five Nights at Freddy's game? But no, it was the one for Daylight, or Dead by Daylight. Again, I suck at this game. I really do, but it does have some interesting points to it. The much requested crossover is now available on all supportive platforms. Following last month's announcement, the Five Nights at Freddy's is coming to Dead by Daylight. The wait is finally over, with the highly anticipated crossover and new Killer Springtrap now available. Dead by Daylight's most requested chapter ever, the Springtrap Special, received rave reviews from those who got to give Behavior Interactive's PTB a spin, with games praising the jump scare filled gameplay, innovative mechanics that drive fun matches while also taking inspiration from the source material. Springtrap's look and animations are well as the security cameras and doors that represent a key part of the killer's gameplay. At the beginning of a trial, 7 security doors, each with cameras above them, spawn across the map. Survivors can access these cameras to scope out different corners of the environment, while both killers and survivors can use the doors to teleport across the map. A cute homage to Freddy's that ups the fun factor for players in both roles, accompanying the release to the Five Nights at Freddy's collection, which includes multiple alternative looks for Springtrap, each drawn from the franchise's storied history. The centerpiece of the collection is the legendary Yellow Rabbit outfit inspired by Five Nights at Freddy's movie, featuring the likeness and voice talents of Scream King Matthew Lillard. He is the most humble person I've ever met. Because when we went to Mad Monster, he happened to be in the elevator, and Lewis said hi to him, and I kind of was just standing because I don't really talk to anybody. I'm not like an outgoing person, and he went out of his way to come and say hi to me. And I thought that was kind of cool. Like most you know, most people we run into the elevator just kind of, you know, chit chats and kind of, but he went out of my way, and ever since that day I have mad respect for him. That is Heather Wetter, that's special. I totally agree. Like I have super respect. Like he really does. Like he spent the time to shake my hand and kind of get to know me in a sense. So I thought that was kind of cool. So ever since that day, I always say nice things about him, because that was a nice moment. He didn't have to do that, but he did do that. Like he went out of his way to, like, you know, come at my level, because he's tall. He actually literally came at my level and says, "Hi, nice to meet you." And I was like, holy, you know what I mean? I wasn't expecting that. Jay Guzzo, Springtrap's killer designer, goes further into the detail about what players can expect. I'm probably not going to go into those details unless you're really into Dead by Daylight, but just the fact that you are going to see this nice mug in the game if you do play that game. I haven't played it in a while because, like I said, I suck at it. I suck at it. I die within like the first 2 minutes of it, but I love watching the killers, like, especially if you have Steam, I think it's called. I haven't played games online in a long time. Whenever they have a sale, that's when you can get a bunch of you can get all the add-ons for like really cheap when they have a sale. Matthew goes, which he and the gang would do a new live action Scooby-Doo 3. I mean, I guess it's up to the producers if they want to go on with the movie or however. Logical Spark, how's it going? Julianne goes, I started watching the X-Files when it first aired on TV. I bought all the DVDs when they came out. Oh, happy birthday, Logical Spark, as well. I started watching, I think I came in at the second season, but it was like in the middle of second season, because I was one of those people. I know if you've been following me for some time, you do know the story, but I was one of these people that every show that I liked always went off air because it wasn't popular. Like I liked Friday the 13th, the series. I liked War of the Worlds with Adrian Paul in it. If you know, you know. So all the shows I had ever watched that I loved always went off air because obviously they weren't popular, right? Or didn't get enough ratings. So when I saw the X-Files, I was like, no, I'm not watching it. Oh, hell no. And then one day I had it in the background and it had the Fluke Man in it. And I was like, can't believe I'm watching this. And I just kind of had it in the background, right? And then I remember it was obviously the break, I think, in between, you know how they have like a winter break or something? I think it was. I don't even remember. But I remember watching Dodd Calm, which is the aging episode in season 3. Yes, I did Logical Spark and I loved it. The Highlander series with Adrian Paul. Oh, I had a big crush on Adrian Paul when I was younger. But that episode came on and I kept watching and then I just became hooked from then on. So it was like Dodcom, it was the Kalashari, it just went on. And then I started watching the older ones like 3, DOD. Oh my God. Like it just I just became obsessed. So I've been a fan since. It took me a while to watch the ending. Because I didn't like the fact that when basically when David Duchovny left the the show, they brought in the character Docket. Well, Docket ended up being more like Scully, and Scully was more like Mulder. And I was like, this is not the dynamic. Like this, I get, you know, by now Scully should be some sort of believer, right? Because of everything she's seen. But I just felt like this is wrong. So I stopped watching it. I don't think I didn't watch it all the way through the very last season. And so 2 years later, I think is when I just watched like the very last episode. But I've been a fan since. I do watch it every once in a while. Curious Potato, what is up? So, an X-Files Lego set is all up my alley. I don't know if any of you guys, before we get into the nitty-gritty, I just kind of wanted to share my thoughts on this. And I'm sure you've heard of it. Brandon, how's it going? Long time no see. I just wanted to give my thoughts on it, and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it. The UFO that they spotted, the disc-shaped UFO moving in the clouds. And when I saw this video, and here's an image of it, it literally looked like, no joke, and I don't believe it's a UFO. I really don't. I mean, I do want to believe. I do believe that there's no, I don't want to land or Range Rover. I do believe that there's life on other planets, but do I believe this is a UFO? No, I don't. Or a UAP, as they call it now. I do not, because the only reason why I do not, and I wanted to give my thoughts on this, is because honestly, what it looked like to me is they took an eclipse, stuck it in the sky, or it could have been an eclipse, period. Because it does not look like it's moving. It looks like the clouds around it is moving. It does not look like a moving object whatsoever. It just looks like an eclipse, and there's clouds coming through. Like they sped up the video kind of thing. So I do not believe that this pictured here is a UFO one bit. I know there's too many people out there that want to believe, so they jump to conclusions when it comes to aliens, because we don't hear a lot about aliens until recently, because we had the whistleblower and basically coming out and saying everything's real. You know how in The Force Awakens, how Han Solo goes, all of it's real, or something to that effect. So Heather whatever goes, unidentified flying sinkhole. What's up, Bernadette? Matthew goes, it's the Death Star making an eclipse. But I'm just, yeah. What do you guys think? I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this video from earlier this week. I like, honestly, my first reactions, like I said, it's an eclipse. That is what it looks like. It looks like the moon went over the sun, and the clouds around it are moving. Like it's one of those fast motion, I don't know what you call it. Like they sped up the video. Yes, Julissa, it's the same video. And I just kind of wanted to bring my thoughts on about it. Heather whatever goes, anything that's jagged would be difficult to navigate without going off course. Julissa goes, it definitely looks like an eclipse. Matthew goes, where it's the black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? From an awesome Soundgarden song. Brandon, thank you for being a member of the Wolfpack for 25 months. No moon for the Wolfpack to howl at. Hearts for Brandon. Thank you, Brandon, for the support. Birdie Dick goes total eclipse of the fart. Julianne goes, yes, black hole. Like, there's nothing UAP to me about this, or UFO. I prefer using UFO. I think they use the term UAP now. But I just wanted to give my thoughts on this. And yeah, it's crazy. It's like in never before seen footage, it is said the military captured a disc-shaped UFO flying through the sky. And also, too, if you've seen that video, the quality of the video, I mean, we've got 8K TVs. I mean, probably not, we don't, because they're expensive, but there's that technology. And being the military, I would think that a bunch of, you know what I mean? I would think they would have better quality in their picture taking skills or video taking skills, and the video quality of that was not that great as well. Bernadette, thank you for being a member of the Wolfpack for 24 months. Hearts for Bernadette as well. Thank you for the support. Fart party, she says. But if I see it, I think the only way I will believe in a UFO is if I see it with my own eyes, because there's too much. There's too much going on. It's like with the paranormal videos. It's like I cannot, no matter how like I want to believe, and it sucks for those people that do actually post a legit video that they actually saw, that they didn't edit, that they didn't do anything to, but we're all going, that ain't real. I feel so sorry for him, but it's very hard for me to believe a video nowadays because of the technology we have. So the only way I believe that I would believe in a UFO is if I've actually seen it, and I have not seen one yet. And I hope to. I am jealous of people that have seen one, to be honest with you. Matthew goes, or it's the Time Bandits. So, this woman, she went to Pompeii and she stole artifacts, and she's claiming that they are cursed. So, number one, we'll come back to this. I would never steal artifacts from Pompeii, period. I don't think if I ever went to any of those sites, I would take anything from those sites, because sorry, I got a text message. Because you never know what you're going to bring back. It's like if you see a ritual item, like something that looks like it's been used in a ritual, I would never touch it. That's another thing. Like, I would leave it there. I don't want to bring whatever those people were trying to keep away or back with me. Bernadette, yeah, bad juju, exactly. Like, I would never touch anything. Though I've heard, like, if you bring rocks from Hawaii, like, you'll get bad luck, and I've done that, and I have nothing. I think it was bad luck, because I remember Dusty mentioning something like that, and I do have some rocks from Hawaii from when I was super young, and I haven't had any issues. But still, like, if it happens to be Pompeii, like, especially something with historic value, like, why even bother taking something from there? Especially with the tragedy that occurred there. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like so many people died in that place that there's got to be some bad juju there. You know what I mean? Like, Bernadette said, Heather, whatever goes. Julissa goes, yep, I would not bring anything home. Heather, whatever goes. A friend of my parents went to some kind of scientist unearthing in Pompeii way back in the 70s or 80s. Oh, that's kind of cool. It'd be a cool place to go to, honestly. But I would never touch anything or take anything from there. But apparently this woman did. And so in quotes, it goes, take them back, please. They bring bad luck. Pompeii is one of the most popular tourist attractions in Italy. It is also apparently a popular target for archaeological theft. According to The Guardian, oh, that's actually kind of cool, the new razor. According to The Guardian, a travel agent in the city received an unexpected package containing a number of artifacts that had been stolen. And no, I don't want to buy luggage from the site of the ancient disaster. The package came with a confession letter written by a tourist who took the artifacts illegally after visiting Pompeii 15 years ago. The remorseful thief, identified only as a Canadian woman named Nicole, sent back a package of looted items, which included 2 parts of an amphora, mosaic tiles. What is an amphora? And a piece of ceramic, all snatched from Pompeii. What's an amorphora? Hold on, let me look that up. It is a 2-handled storage jar, most notably used in ancient Greece and Rome for transporting and storing liquids like wine and olive oil. In her letter, Nicole wrote that she stole the historical artifacts because she wanted to have a piece of history that nobody could have, but she grew to regret her theft over the years as she found that the relics had so much negative energy linked to the land of destruction. And I would think so, like I said, because it was an area where a lot of people had lost their lives unexpectedly and violently. Kind of, if you think that is no way to die. She went on to state that she had suffered a number of misfortunes over the last decades, including 2 bouts of breast cancer. She believed her bad luck was a curse brought on by stolen artifacts. Regardless if I believe it or not, I still wouldn't bring, I especially from a place like that, I still wouldn't take anything from those places. I am now 36 and have had breast cancer twice, the last time ending in a double mastectomy. She wrote, "My family and I also had financial problems. We're good people, and I don't want to pass this curse on to my family or children." Nicole went on to note that she had learned her lesson and that she hoped to earn forgiveness from God. "Take them back, please," she pled in her letter. "They bring bad luck." Nicole isn't the only light-fingered visitor Pompeii has received over the years. Within the same package was a separate set of stones that had been stolen from the site as well. Just like Nicole's return loot, the stones also came with a letter of confession. This one sent from a couple also from Canada. "We took them without thinking of the pain and suffering these poor souls experienced during the eruption of Vesuvius and their terrible deaths." The couple wrote, "We are so sorry. Please forgive us for making this terrible choice. May their souls rest in peace." The couple stole the stones from Pompeii in 2005, the same year as Nicole. It's unclear what relationship the women had with the couple or whether they stole the pieces on the same trip together. Before it became a world famous historical site, Pompeii was once a lost city. It suffered one of the worst tragedies in ancient history when its residents were buried beneath tons of ash and volcanic debris following the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD. The bodies of those who didn't make it out in time to escape the eruption lay beneath layers of volcanic ash for thousands of years. The lost city, containing stunningly artifacts like the frescoes, what's the frescoes? Was discovered accidentally in the 18th century during the construction of a new palace for the Bourbon King of France. I think the frescoes are like pictures or paintings. That's kind of what it looks like. The remains of Vesuvius victims who were buried alive in Pompeii were calcified by the layers of ash, which formed a protective shell around their bodies. The skin and soft tissue of these remains later disintegrated, but the hard shell that formed over them remained, making Pompeii an eerie yet popular tourist attraction due to the bodies of victims whose final moments were immortalized like statues. Remarkably, officials at the tourist site have received a number of returned stolen artifacts from regretful thieves over the years. As a response, officials cheekily established a museum displaying the stolen goods. Although there's no real proof of a Pompeii curse, hopefully the news will deter other naughty tourists from stealing artifacts. Um, I I mean, whether you believe it or not, I mean, obviously there has to be some truth to it, or that woman wouldn't be bringing them back. Wouldn't be like, please take them. I mean, nuke the fridge. What is up? But Curious Potato goes, yes, frescoes were paintings. Julissa goes, the paintings on the wall. Julianne goes, easier to blame a rock than bad things can happen to people. I believe in curses, so I do believe like you can bring something home with you if you do something bad, but it could also be karma because they stole. You know what I mean? So it could be all up in their mind. It's not necessarily, or their conscious. It could not necessarily be a cursed object from, or a cursed object, but being that it was from a place where a lot of people died, and you never know, you know what I mean? But I would never take anything from there ever. Um, and it's kind of like um, a lesson learned type of thing. Gunner Girl goes, remember on the Brady Bunch when they were in Hawaii and they found a totem thing made a necklace and they had lots of I remember that episode. I do. Bernadette goes, that's how I know. Actually, I was thinking of Robert the Doll when I was reading this. That's almost like the Robert the Doll curse. Never take a pic of him without permission. If you guys aren't familiar with Robert the Doll, he is a doll. He's in Florida, I believe. They believe there's a lot of people that basically, obviously, there's rules when you go see Robert the Doll. You got to ask permission. You have to say goodbye. You got to be polite to him. There's one in the Haunted Museum as well, Peggy the Doll, that they say the same thing. Don't look at her eyes, or bad things are going to happen to you. And right when I was reading this article, it reminded me of Robert the Doll, because there's people that have written letters to Robert the Doll apologizing for not asking permission to take his picture, because after that they've had bouts of bad luck. I mean, regardless if I believed it or not with the doll, I still wouldn't take any chances. I unfortunately, yes, Julissa, young women do get breast cancer sometimes, and it sometimes you do get it more than once, unfortunately. Curious Potato goes, I don't think there's any curse. But it reminded me of him. There's also many Annabelle too. They say that she's cursed. When I guess they were taking her on a road trip for people to, see her, and somebody came up with the story that she was lost, but that wasn't the real truth. But they were blaming incidences. Like I think there was a fire at a plantation, and then there was 10 prisoners escaped, like in New Orleans. So we're blaming it on Annabelle, saying that she caused it. So I mean, Heather whatever goes, I picked up a coin when I first moved to LA years ago. It had carved things in it, including a llama. Pretty quickly, it gave me the creeps, and I ditched it. Matthew goes, a doll that scares Ozzy. I mean, unless I'm kind of 50-50 with I don't think it's a cursed object, but I wouldn't put it past that, maybe something out there, the world, the universe was trying to teach them a lesson type of thing for stealing. Um, I mean, like I said, never take things from ancient places. Do not take items used in a ritual. If it was meant to be buried, keep it buried type of thing, because you don't want to bring anything home with you. But I mean, needless to say, it could just be quidinky dink that things happen, because sometimes things happen to you just out of nowhere and you can't explain it. It doesn't necessarily mean a curse. Also, too, I mean, unfortunately, some people, like I have cancer in my family, so I always do diligence to check to make sure, that I'm okay. Like I make it a point, because I do know I have it in my family history. So if you have a family history of cancer, you could get it. It's like Mark Hoppus, from Blink-182. He got the exact same cancer his mom had, and I think his mom had it twice. So it could just be family. And then a lot of times, if you have it once, you can get it again. So it's not necessarily a curse. It sucks for people going through cancer. You would think they would have a cure for cancer now. Maybe they do. They're just not telling us. But it's the one thing I feel like it sucks. It sucks going through. It sucks going through it. I watched my mom go through it. I don't want to see anyone else go through it. So I do and then my grandfather also had cancer. I don't know what kind of cancer though, unfortunately, but my grandfather passed from cancer as well. So I do have it on both sides of the family. So I always make sure to check. I mean, you're not going to catch everything, but at least I'm doing my, due diligence to check when it's recommended. Curious Potato goes, they say it's only cursed if you believe it is. True. That's true. I kind of agree with that too. If you believe in something, if you highly believe in something, like highly believe in it, it does become true type of thing. You know what I mean? So if you believe in the bottom of your soul that something's bad, then it's going to be bad to you, or things are going to happen. Like, but I just feel like sometimes in the universe, things happen. It's going to happen regardless of if it's a cursed item or something you stole from Pompeii or something you stole from, the Conjuring house. I'm just going to put the Conjuring house for example, but something from a haunted house. I don't think I would ever take anything from the Conjuring house, but but I would never step foot in that place until that woman sells it. But Julianne goes, I've never heard of the curse of Pompeii, so no archaeologist died from a curse as far as I know. Yeah, there is no curse, period. But I think there's just people that believe, and if you believe in something enough, it does come to fruition type of thing. It does. I'm a firm believer of that. If you believe in something, that's why I always say like a good investigator would be a skeptic, because they're not going to jump to conclusions on every little sound they heard. Like I feel like a believer would be like, oh my God, that was a ghost. You know what I mean? If it's a skeptic, they're like, no, it was the pipes, the water. This is an old house. The pipes makes that noise, or, oh, the toilet was flushing. Like they'll be more logical when it comes to sounds than a believer would be. Carol goes, I don't have to go through that anymore as long as I'm getting the scans for the lung cancer. It does mid thigh to the base of the skull. Oh, that's a good scan. I mean, I know they have these full body scans that you could do, but I think those are expensive. I don't know how. Like I don't even know if insurance covers. I've seen them and I've always been curious about them, but I've never actually looked into it. But that's actually, Carol, that's actually kind of a good scan to have. Julianne goes, my mother had bilateral breast cancer. I know my mom also mentioned that my grandmother might have had cancer, but the problem is I will never know, because they had all passed, so it's kind of hard to figure out like where you know what I mean? Like, but at least I know for sure my mom had it started with the stomach, so I know for sure that. But obviously, and I've done research because I always thought that because my mom was taking hormonal drugs to help with menopause at the time, and I always thought in my head that is what caused it. But I've done not to go all scientific on you guys, but I've looked it up because I've always thought that was the cause of it. I don't know why, it just always hit me in the head. It's funny because I remember taking it, but I never knew what it was, and I'm like, that's probably what caused it. But I guess there's no correlation against hormonal drugs or like with stomach cancer, but I still crosses my mind. Julissa goes, I don't believe insurance covers a full body scan. Bernadette goes, first of all, don't steal. Also, if you don't know what or where you're dealing with, then you do not take. Common sense. Very true. Carol goes, I get one every 3 weeks. Oh, wow. Heather, whatever goes, only if they have the gene for that, perhaps. Yes. Julissa goes, oh, wow, well, the hormones they use now are supposed to be safe, but I won't take them because of the breast cancer that runs in my family. Yes, because there's some of them that do cause breast cancer. But there's some, which it makes it, not to get all scientific and medical on you guys for a second here. So if you guys don't want to put the headphones on, if you guys don't want to hear, but there are drugs that women can take that will help with different types of cancer to the reproductive area, but will cause breast cancer. Well, increases your chances of breast cancer, if that makes any sense. I'm like, that's why it's always good to read about these things, because you never know, you know what I mean? But which makes no sense, because the doctor's like, oh yeah, it's known to help with cancers, and I'm like, okay, oh okay, that sounds good. And then you look on and you're like, okay, there's a breast cancer risk, like, you know what I mean? So it's always good to read in general, just to read things, just to be knowledgeable about things that you're taking or that a doctor suggests, because sometimes I feel like they don't tell you everything. Okay, now you can put your headphones back on or take your headphones off. And as always, guys, I forgot to mention Skeleduck is somewhere in this background. I hide him every stream. Just remind me before the end of the stream to reveal his location. If you guys don't know who Skeleduck is, he is located in my upper right-hand corner. Might be your upper left-hand corner. That is what he looks like. He is not the one that is by the blue peep, but he is in this background. And I will give you a few minutes to look for him if you haven't done so already. Heather, where goes my Pompeian headphones? Julianne goes, I do not know much family history on my father's side. My father is gone and can't ask him. His mother had a stroke here in the house I lived in, so I don't know. I know it's kind of hard when your family members have passed and you can't ask them those questions. Curious Potato goes, Skeleduck, what are they feeding you? Bernadette's like, nope, I'm not looking for Skelebutt. They are making, well, I'll give you time, a minute or two to look for Skeleduck. They are making a, Robert Eggers, who did Nosferatu, is going to direct a Christmas Carol remake. There are so many Christmas carols, like to the point where I just don't care if there's another Christmas Carol. But with Robert Eggers, there's always the way that he films, there's got to be some like outlandish thing in it. So that's probably what I'm going to look for when I do see it. I think he's going to make it more horrific. which would be kind of cool. I mean, I'm open to it, but I didn't care for Nosferatu. Also too, Stephen King, The Stand will return with a new movie. I don't think I saw the first one. But it's returning. So, I mean, like I said, I feel like Hollywood has lost its creative streak and its originality because it keeps wanting to come out with different with remakes of remakes of remakes. I mean, I get it. You want to bring those movies to this newer generation, but at the same time, like, you got the older generation who wants to keep those movies then. They're classic for a reason. I also saw like an article on Facebook where what if they had Saw and Megan? And I'm like Carol found him already. Heather, whatever goes, I never find him. If you need a detective, hire Carol. You cannot get anything past her. So I agree with Heather, whatever. If you ever need a detective, hire Carol. I'm also probably going to start, I have this idea. I'm probably going to start doing like, standalones, where I take some of the obscured movies, like that's on Shutter or Tubi, and review them. Like some of these B movies that no one's ever heard of or watched, like the B horror movies. Believe it or not, some of those are like the greatest movies ever. So I think I'm gonna start watching a bunch of those and start reviewing them and do videos on them. I think that's it'd be kind of cool. Like the weird movies, like, the ones that you wouldn't think were horror films, but thank you, Heather. Whatever, I appreciate that. You do great reviews. So I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna start watching like the obscure, like the not. I mean, there's some known ones that they do talk about on Shutter, but I'll probably review those too. But kind of wanted to do some movie reviews, so I think Matthew goes, and they already did that a few years ago. Are you referring to The Stand? Because I think that article mentioned 2 other times. I don't think I've seen both of them. I do remember that they had one, but I don't think I saw it. Carol goes, I've always had an eye for details. You would make a great detective, Carol. You would. You would. Carol would be on a crime scene, and she'll be like, yeah, the killer had a size 8 shoe. He was wearing jeans and a t-shirt, and we'll be like, how the hell did you know that? I'm just kidding, Carol. But you would make a great detective. No, seriously, you would. Nothing gets past you. Like, you are very detailed oriented. That's Harry, Heather, whatever. I think that's the one I remember. The TV, The Stand. D Nice, what is up? Kind of being off topic. Did anyone purchase a Nintendo Switch 2? I didn't, because of all the reviews. So I didn't. I almost did, but then I was like, no, I'll wait for the next one to come. The next batch. Matthew goes, yes, last one had Amber Heard in it. I do not remember those. I don't think I've seen them. Boss Barbie did. I have not. I mean, I've been looking, been tempted, but I've seen a lot of things about like the battery life not lasting too long. People saying like the OLED has a better screen than the new Nintendo Switch 2, but I've heard good things about it too, like it runs faster. So, but a lot of times, I mean, I've had luck where I've bought things on launch and I haven't had any issues, but then sometimes you do get issues, or they'll have problems with the Joy-Cons, like they'll start drifting, and I'm like, D Nice goes, the OLED is better. I don't have the OLED. I have the very first one, but not the one that came out. Like I waited later to get one, so it's probably a different batch. Like mine's an all red, like Super Mario Brother edition one. Heather Wetter goes, when my kids were growing up, the Switch 2 would have been on the kids' Christmas list. Sometimes Santa had to really do some searching. And that's what I heard, D Nice. The OLED is better. I've heard that too. And there's people that are just buying the OLED instead, which is nothing wrong with it because it is on sale now. If you don't have a Switch, why not? Boss Barbie, thank you for that super chat. Hearts for Boss Barbie. Thank you. I appreciate it. But it does have, I'm with you on that one on Matthew. It does have a hefty price tag. And a lot of times they're saying like because there's the what is it? The Steam Deck that can play, if you're familiar with Steam, they have the Steam Deck and there's an OLED version of it, and they're saying that one's kind of better if you're not like just into Nintendo only games, which has a hefty price tag. D Nice goes, I'm a late bloomer for Animal Crossing New Horizons. Been playing that with other games. I have that game. I stopped playing it. Matthew goes, I know someone who has one and they streamed play Mario Kart and it looked good. I mean, I guess it just depends on the people. But like I said, I heard yeah, it costs a lot. It does cost a lot of money. Curious Potato. But like I said, I've heard it does have a few issues, which obviously, I mean, probably an update would fix in some cases because you have to update the controllers too, believe it or not. And I know an update came up, but I don't know what it was for. Oh, Minecraft, I think, is on Max. So if you guys want to see the Minecraft movie, I think it's on there. Or it's coming to Max. Julissa goes, Mario Party is a lot of fun on the Switch. I never got Mario Party. You know what I've been eyeing? Because it's a game, I know I'm dating myself really bad, but it was a game that we used to play on the Apple I computers way back in elementary school. What is the Oregon Trail? And they have that game on the Switch, and I'm like, just for nostalgia, you know what I mean? Because I used to play that in school. Boss Barbie goes, yep, the battery dies fast. That's true. But it's probably something that they could fix. Or maybe when they drop another, because usually they have the first batch and they'll have another batch. So hopefully the second batch will fix all the issues. Matthew, I heard the next Xbox is going to be completely backward compatible. I think they have a portable with Asus. It's like a portable gaming that's partnered up with Xbox. Julissa goes, Oregon Trail. It makes me think of sixth grade. I think I was young. I know I'm dating myself, but oh well. And I was like, I used to play that game all the time. I think it was, holy crap. I remember a long time. Like, we would play it for a long time. Second grade, I think it was. Carol goes, I saw a commercial with the new Jurassic. There is a new Jurassic World. I think it's called Rebirth movie coming out as well. I don't know. Oh, July, I think it's coming out. D Nice goes, if there is a game that we can all collectively play on the Switch, we should like Jackbox or something, a Grayson Report party that can accommodate more than 20 people. That would be cool. Julianne goes, I'm older than everyone here. I never was a real big fan of Jurassic Park. I liked the first, I liked it, but I wasn't like a huge fan. Like, oh my God, I have to see all of them. Because after a while, it's kind of, after a while, when they keep coming out with movies, it's kind of like you lose interest because you're like, isn't it over already? So I feel like, I mean, it does, the trailer look good, don't get me wrong. But I'm not like a huge, crazy fan of Jurassic Park. Gunner Girl, exactly. They make so many Jurassic Parks. It's like there's so many Friday the 13th. There's so many Nightmare on Elm Streets. There's so many Hellraisers. There's so many Saws. There's so many Final Destinations. You know, I could keep going on for days. Age is just a number. I want to put it there. It's just a number. Because I think it applies to animals too, because we had a dog, and when he got adopted though, so that's a good thing. We had a dog, he was 12. All right. He acted like he was 1 year old. He would play with his toys, he would jump up and down. I did not think this dog was 12. And I don't think anybody, unless I told them, knew that he was 12. So age is just a number. I agree, Heather, whatever. Hollywood, make new stuff. Stop. I want to see some new horror. I did see that the Bambi horror movie. I'm like, I'm sorry. I know as cheesy as it sounds, but it's something different. You know what I mean? So I did see that the Bambi movie is coming out next month. And I was like, oh, that's when it's coming out. I mean, we've got I Know What You Did Last Summer, Electric Boogaloo on July 18th. And then Bambi, The Reckoning will be out on July 25th. Like I said, it's probably going to be the most cheesiest movie ever, but I'm down for it because it's something different. You know what I mean? It's something different. It's Bambi horrified. Like, come on. Matthew, true that too. Age is just time. Curious Potato goes, I saw the first one at the cinema. It was amazing seeing that brontosaurus. Don't get me wrong. Like, the first two movies were amazing. I remember the first two movies. I don't think I remember after that. But actually, most of the movies I saw Jurassic Park, I enjoyed. I didn't hate them, but then like I said, I'm not a super fan, so I'm not gonna like nitpick at everything. Julissa goes, horror Bambi is definitely something different. Curious Potato goes, Bambi, the revenge. D Nice goes, I may or may not have gotten you something Bambi related. Oh, cool. But that is coming out July 25th, which will be something cool. I did see the trailer to called Weapons Pew Pews. It's coming out on August 8th. If you guys haven't checked out that trailer, it actually looks kind of cool, like it's something different. It's something different, and and I kind of am looking forward to that movie because the trailer looked good and something different for a change. You know what I mean? Something different. And they are coming out. They announced a Ma 2, and I'm like, we don't need a second Ma. Ma by itself was enough. So it's like, Bernadette's ready for Megan too. It comes out this weekend. D Nice goes, you're doing anything fun for 4th of July? Make sure your pup is coming. I don't know if I have to work. I know the center is probably going to be closed, but I don't know if I have to come in still because we still have to take care of the animals, even if we're closed. But nothing really. I never do anything on 4th of July. I try to stay away from the I mean, obviously here where I live, fireworks are illegal, but there's still people shooting them off, and I hear them now. And I think it's been I've been hearing them since I mean, usually you start hearing them more frequent like 2 weeks before 4th of July, but I've been hearing them since the beginning of this month. So, and they're illegal here. So, it's like, and whenever I see dumb people shooting off fireworks, and I'm like, dude, if you catch my house on fire, they're probably never going to know you did it, but still, I am going to be angry because we have a big dry hill. So it wouldn't be just my house. It'd be every house along this hill that you could potentially catch on fire. And that it irritates me. That's the reason why they're illegal here. I know way back in the day when I was a kid, it wasn't, but now I don't care how fun fireworks are. I see the danger in them. And I'm like, I would rather have my house and my neighborhood still here. You know what I mean? That's more important to me. And I know in LA, they shoot off because it's legal there. So you always hear fireworks going off like crazy. And it's like, dude, really? Julissa, get your thunder vest ready for your pups. I don't think she'll have an issue. Because she's heard loud noises and she doesn't really get jumpy, so I don't think I'll have a problem. I know at the center, a lot of the dogs, we have a train that comes right, there's the train track literally on the side of the building, and the train comes by, and some of the dogs do get affected by it because they'll come, and I'm like, no, it's just a train, like, don't be scared. But there's some dogs, they'll go out there, do their business, and come back like, oh, train. So it just depends on the dog. Julianne, my first holiday without a pup in 13 years, just me and my cat now. Julissa goes, my girl was never afraid of the sound of fireworks, but last year she was freaking out. I know a lot of places are going for drone shows too now instead of actual fireworks because of the fire. And I know some places canceled their fireworks here shows, especially in Los Angeles because of what happened recently. Gunner Girl, I don't understand why they started selling fireworks to the public at all. People go crazy with it. They do. Or they'll go to another state and get like those massive ones and bring them here. And I'm like, dude. Boss Party goes, Megan 2 was released today in New Zealand. Wow, that's weird. We're seeing it before America. Doesn't seem right. No, actually, I think it's out already. It comes out tomorrow, but I think the theaters usually I don't really go to the movies anymore, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe the like Thursday night is when we used I remember when I did go to movies, you used to see the movie the night before. Curious Potato goes, Thumper is a wabbit. And Heather, whatever goes, yes, but bunnies can bite your ankle. Stealth horror. I do, Matthew. You gave me an idea for sure because the Halloween stuff is going to start coming out. So I'm going to look for one. You need a Skelly Bambi. I do. I am going to look for one. All right, guys. Skeleduck is, if you see my Annabelle doll, which is just a Raggedy Ann doll, but she's similar to the Annabelle doll, about the same year the Annabelle doll is supposed to come out. But she's a smaller version. But Skeleduck is right there. That's his rib cage. He is right there right where my finger is pointing. He's on my right hand of the screen. It might be your left hand side, but that's where he is. He's basically right behind Raggedy Ann or Annabelle, whoever you want to call, and that's his rib cage sticking out right there, right where my finger's pointing. Matthew goes, make Lewis dressed as a Skelly and you will have a Skella Lewis. Matthew was like, I knew it. Also, I want to give a shout out to Heather Whatever for that PayPal. A little coffee, maybe. Thank you, Heather Whatever. I appreciate it. It will definitely go toward coffee. You know, I love coffee. Hearts for Heather Whatever, guys. Thank you, Heather Whatever. I appreciate it. And thank you for the last one, because I didn't get to shout you out as well, because I totally forgot to check my phone before I ended the stream. I do that sometimes, guys. But thank you, Heather Whatever. I appreciate it. Rooster, what is going on? How's it going? All right, guys. Any last minute questions before I end this stream? Sinners, Max, July 4th. I thought it was out already because I had a big old banner when I opened up my Max. And then I looked today and I was like, wait a minute, I don't see it. So that explains it. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Gunner Girl. Julianne. Bernadette goes, when are we going to do a ghost hunt? I don't know. I got to figure this out. I've been busy. One of these years, we will do one. Bernadette, we will. Thank you, Tyrana. Thank you, Julianne. All right, guys, without further ado, I am going to end the stream here. Thank you for joining me on this edition of Grayson Report. I hope you have, oh, thank you, Curious Potato. I appreciate that. I hope you guys have a great week, a great weekend, and I will see you on the next one. Stay spooky and sweet nightmares, guys, and good night. Bernadette goes, it's a good ghost date. Good night, guys. See you on the next one. And thank you.